Welcome back. Well, we were discussing various themes from last Samvat to this one, and one theme that really surprised and took everyone by surprise actually has been the PSU theme. Every time you thought that the rally is over, but many of the stocks have done well. Well, Nimesh, you're going to take stock of that. Tell us more.
Well, Nigel, the PSU index has behaved like the Virat Kohli of the Indian team, consistently performing and hitting centuries as well. So let me just go to the wall and explain why I'm saying this. The PSU index, the Nifty PSU index, has been among the top performing sector in this Samvat in the last 1 year. Look at the performance. The index is of 49% in the last 1 year. And if you look at the last 3 year performances as well. Okay, first let's look at the indices across the board. The Nifty reality index is up 52%, but look at the Nifty PSU index up 52%. The Nifty PS index is up 49%. The Nifty CPS index is up 46%, and the likes of small cap and mid cap have also rallied pretty hard in Samvat to Samvat. Now, as I said, it's not been only this year, but look at the last 3 year performance of the PSU index. In 2021, the index was up 62%. I'm talking about the index up 61%. Last year it was up 2%, and this year again it has rallied 49%. So consistently the PSU index has delivered, and it looks like now the PSU index has taken the mantle of the leadership in this market. Now just look at the big outperformers of this PSU within the PSU basket. RVNL, that stock is up 335%. Aircon is up 260%. IRFC is up 250%. Power Finance and Mazgaon all have rallied at least 2x in the last 1 year. This is just last 1 year data. Stocks which have rallied between 100 to 200%. ITI, SJVN, Railtel Corp, Hultco is up 120%. NLC, NBCC, Cochin Shipyard, and the list goes on. So that's a big mover between 100 to 200%. There are also other mid-cap, small-cap stocks within the PSU basket which have rallied pretty hard. Vale is up 90% this year. GIC is up 87%. Something like GERC, HAL is up 70%. It's not a small-cap stock now. That's rallied 70%. New India Assurance and the likes of MOIL up 62% as well. So big move we've seen in the PSUs in the last 1 year. Other big gainers includes the likes of Andrew Yule, Oil India. Mishra Dhatu is up almost 52%, and the likes of MMTC and Indian Oil Corporation up almost 50%. So that's the kind of rally we've seen in the PSU stocks in the just last 1 year. There are only few losers in the last 1 year. The likes of Concord pretty much flat. There is IRCTC which is down 9% in the last 1 year. But the big move has been in the PSUs and consistently performing in the last 1 year. So as I said, the PSU index looks like has taken the mantle of leadership, and that's where the big performances come, up 50% in just last 1 year.
Okay, all right, thanks a lot for that, Nimesh. Gentlemen, what do you make of that? The PSU team, I remember some few years ago it was touch me not. And the last one, if you didn't touch them, you would have missed out on, big returns. So what's it take, Madhu? You go first.
So that's unfair. I think we were always, at least Sunil and I have been always the
no, I'm saying the
broad market. But I'll give you one stunning data, which was not there on the wall, because it is Samvat to Samvat. In 3 years from now, the total market capitalization of all PSU stocks 3 years back was 15 lakh crores.
Okay.
And it went to 45 lakh crores. The whole PSU market cap, which includes all banks, all oil companies, all defense, railways, all kinds of companies.
Right.
So there is a 30 lakh crore rupees of wealth which got created. And I think roughly 40% of this is actually held by public.
Yeah.
Government holding, weighted average, I would say, will be maybe close to 60-65%.
Right.
So there is a lot of wealth which has got created, undoubtedly. So again, going by this, this looks like clearly the leader, and I want to make one small point. Again, a lot of people who I have come across in my career, they set rules. That government company lene ka nahi. So all those rules, have to be reminded in these kind of times.
Yeah.
That you can still get away by something or the other. But I don't think keeping an open-minded really harms you in the markets in the long run.
Sunil, let's just narrow down within the entire PSU space to PSU banks, because that has seen asset quality improvement, loan book growth. There's really a change in terms of the fundamentals which have taken place. Do you think there's further upside because the rally is in place?
So see, there are obviously some reasons why PSUs did not do well earlier. There were a lot of intervention from the government and so on and so forth. I think I'm saying this because it was more applicable to the PSU banking side. When you're in a lending business, it is said that there were interventions of whom you should lend, collection systems were an issue and so on and so forth. And if you remember going back 4-5 years, they hardly had any capital because they were reeling under NPAs, they had net losses, and the government had to continuously out of the budget keep on refinancing them. Now you see the system, there's a complete yo-yo. Public sector banks are giving to the government record dividends.
Yeah.
So what they took in, they're giving it back. I think the processes have improved dramatically. You don't hear the kind of stories which you used to hear in terms of doing something to get loans approved and so on and so forth. For the first time, we are seeing you can say willful defaulters getting imprisoned, which has never happened in India. I think that is also changing the sanity, the habit, the hygiene factor. And banks are still significantly at a discount compared to their fundamentals in isolation, as well as in comparison to the private sector banks, as well as in comparison to the overall market. See, in an overall market where nothing is below 20, 30, 40 P, you still have some of the second-tier PSU banks available at 4, 5, 6 P, with a growth rate which is comparable, and with ROEs which are now 16, 17%. I have not seen for the last 20 years, and I used to track banking very closely, that very consistently ROEs for public sector banks trending to 15, 16 and 17%, and no need for any capitalization from the government. So I think they are in a decent wicket, I would say.
Just to put into context, all of us will be going for a lot of Diwali parties. Sometimes you reach at 8 o'clock, you say party was good. Now, 10 o'clock it's become. And suddenly you realize that when you left, actually the party rocked even more. So if you got out of any of these PSU themes, some part of the year,
party
you're abhi to party shuru.
नहीं but अभी party शुरू हुई है कि
I don't know about the PSUs overall. So we have some exposure to PSU. I would lie to say that we have been big beneficiaries because defense and all, it was very difficult to take a call per se because there is only one customer, the government of India. And you have to depend on one customer for all your businesses. So in a format where you're managing public money, this sometimes becomes a little tough. But there are pockets where there is still decent growth. There are pockets where they have I would say a little bit of edge also. If you look at large power companies, for example, their size is so huge. There is potential. They get preference also. They have capital. Or banks, there is moat in a few of those banks. So I would say there is definitely. At the same time, some of the PSUs where the float is limited, retailers come in, pile down. There are some PSU banks which are trading at 3-4 times book also because the float is limited. So you have to be very choosy. I would not say that you just club everything into PSU and say now kal se khali yehi kharido. I don't think that would be wise.
Okay, we'll take a quick commercial break. We've been told to do that, so we'll do that. We'll come back, more conversation with our market masters on the other side.